Chapter 1821, Considering to Move House. Chen Feng gradually understood that Jiao Nan's words were for his sake. Chen Feng wasn't a fool. When his family, especially that mother who left, mentioned his young aunt, their words were always unpleasant and scolding her. Chen Feng couldn't help but ask Xiao Zijin once, "Mom, isn't young aunt your biological sister? Why do you have to scold her?" Chen Feng was just a child who asked questions. Who knew that this question would turn Xiao Zijin into an exploding firecracker? From that day onward, Chen Feng understood that Jiao Nan's words were meant to protect him. Chen Feng liked to play with Jiao Nan. His young aunt had said before that as long as he did this, he would have a chance to follow her in the future. He did whatever his young aunt had said. As for the rest, he didn't care. Perhaps it was Jiao Nan who had taught well or Chen Feng who was a great actor at a young age, but before today, no one in the Chen family had expected Chen Feng to like Jiao Nan much more than his biological mother, Xiao Zijin. In the few months that Xiao Zijin left, they had never seen Chen Feng crying for his mom. When they mentioned Jiao Nan today, Chen Feng had a happy look of approval on his face. His reaction made the Chen family hate Xiao Zijin extremely. How big a failure was Xiao Zijin as a mother? Even her biological son didn't need her. "Feng Feng, you really like your young aunt." Father Chen wasn't concerned about others. He only cared about the words Chen Feng used to describe Jiao Nan. It was undeniable that Jiao Nan wasn't married, was childless, and had never been a mother before. However, it was obvious that Jiao Nan could teach children better than those women who had given birth before. His grandson was taught well by Jiao Nan. He knew that his grandson was close to her, but she didn't sow discord between his grandson, the Chiao family, and the Chen family. If his grandson hadn't been honest today, even he would not have realized that his grandson unknowingly had a deep relationship with Jiao Nan. "Yes." Chen Feng replied very loudly. "If you let young aunt be my mom, I won't be against it." Anyway, his young aunt had long existed as a mother in his heart. "Dad, Mom, see." Chen Jun was happy. He didn't expect that there was hope again to what was already deemed as impossible with the help of his son. He could feel that his parents' hearts were wavering. "Nan Nan is nice and smart. You know about the Chiao family's situation as well. She's just unlucky to have such parents and sister. Otherwise, based on Nan Nan's conditions and intelligence, the university she could be admitted to might even be better than mine. It's okay not to have high educational qualifications as long as one is progressive. Look at how well she has taught Feng Feng. You don't know that Jiao Nan has always been doing translation, right? Her command of English is great. What were educational qualifications? Having real capability was what mattered most. Jiao Nan's English had passed the test. It wasn't any worse than the university students who had taken the foreign language course. In fact, her actual working ability was better than those students. Compared to Xiao Zijin, Father Chen and Mother Chen recognized Jiao Nan more. Only Jiao Nan was the daughter-in-law they were willing to acknowledge back then. Now that their son was still interested in Jiao Nan and even their grandson didn't mind Jiao Nan becoming his mom, what else could they say? Once Chen Jun's transfer order arrived, Father Chen and Mother Chen let Chen Jun go to find Jiao Nan. They would leave together with Jiao Nan and live in an unfamiliar city. Chen Jun would remarry Jiao Nan and hold a banquet there. It was estimated that the people from Pingcheng and the Chiao family would know about Chen Jun remarrying Jiao Nan only after a very long time. Once Father Chen and Mother Chen were agreeable, Chen Jun's plan to pursue Jiao Nan no longer faced any obstacles. He guessed that Jiao Nan was no longer in Pingcheng. However, before Jiao Nan left, she had bought a train ticket and that would require an ID card. Chen Jun used a little of his abilities and found out that the last train ticket Jiao Nan bought after leaving Pingcheng was headed toward Qingshui town. Then, Chen Jun checked on Qingshui town's temporary residence information registered by outsiders. Chen Jun had a vast network. There was only information that Chen Jun didn't want to know and nothing that he couldn't find out. Chen Jun stood in front of Jiao Nan's door excitedly. After staring at the door for 3 minutes and preparing the words he wanted to say, he lifted his hand to knock on Jiao Nan's door. He had already thought of how to apologize for his mistake back then and seek Jiao Nan's forgiveness so that she would be willing to leave with him and start anew, giving each other a second chance. A misunderstanding was a misunderstanding. Happiness was the most important. He and Jiao Nan had already missed a happy life for more than 10 years. How many years were there in one's lifetime? He and Jiao Nan had to cherish all the years after this and not waste time on quarreling. Who is that? Jiao Nan was quite sensitive to knocks on the door recently. Once she heard knocking sounds, she would react like a cat that had gotten its tail stepped. Jiao Nan sighed. Perhaps she should really consider renting another house before getting her own. That day, Zai Sheng came over for no good reason and even said strange things. That wasn't a good sign. It's me. The voice outside the door clearly sounded like a man, but she was not familiar with it. The hand that Jiao Nan placed on the door stopped. Who are you? When she asked, Jiao Nan couldn't help but laugh. What kind of reply was this? There are 4.1 billion people in China. Was she a supercomputer? Would she be able to remember the other party's identity whenever they said it's me? Chen Jun was embarrassed for a while. Nan, are you doing this deliberately? Do you really not recognize my voice? In the past, every time he went to find Jiao Nan for a date, Jiao Nan could immediately recognize him once he spoke, even if she hadn't seen him yet. The importance his girlfriend placed on him made Chen Jun feel proud for quite some time. He thought that by coming over to find Jiao Nan today, she would definitely be very agitated and recognize him the first instance, just like before. Who are you? Made Chen Jun feel extremely embarrassed. It was as if what he had thought of was too narcissistic. The good memories the two of them once shared seemed to be just his own imagination. Jiao Nan's face darkened. Aside from her dream, only 2 people would call her Nan in reality. The first was her dad when he felt guilty toward her. And the second was Chen Jun, her ex-boyfriend before he had hooked up with Jiao Zijin. How do you know I'm here? Did you inform the Jiao family? She thought that it wasn't easy for Chen Jun and Jiao Zijin to get a divorce, so he shouldn't be interfering in the Jiao family's messy matters anymore. Now, it seemed that it was imperative for her to move house. Chapter 1822, Sincerely. No, why would I inform the Jiao family? Nan, you should know that I've always been helping you. You should be following the news about the Jiao family too, right? If I were to tell the Jiao family about you, that would be creating more trouble for you. Nan, you've had it hard all these years. Can you give me a chance to make it up to you and a chance to give you happiness? Can the two of us start afresh again? I promise you that I'll never make the same mistake again. I'll have eyes for you only. The excited Chen Jun could not even wait for Jiao Nan to open the door and simply spilled out his confession, asking for reconciliation. Only in the moment that he said this did Chen Jun realize just how much he missed those times he had had with Jiao Nan and how much he wished his relationship with Jiao Nan could return to what it had been in the past. He yearned to be with Jiao Nan and to be her husband. He had sincere feelings for her. Nan, please open the door. I miss you very much. Can I just meet you for a while? Nan, I really miss you. Chen Jun's confession that he thought expressed his deep feelings and regret disgusted Jiao Nan so much that she nearly vomited. Initially, I already intended on not opening the door for you. Now, even more so I can't open it for you. Chen Jun, just leave. Half a year ago, you were my brother-in-law. Today, you're still my ex-brother-in-law. Besides these 2 identities, you'll never have another one with me. Don't come looking for me in the future. There's no way I'll ever be with you. I must be retarded and blind to get back together with you. 10 years ago, She had already been agitated by the sight of Jiao Zijin showing off her stomach in front of her. She had already closed her heart off to this man, Chen Jun. Nan, I know that you're still angry at me and you still hate me because of what happened that year. But Nan, life is short. We don't have much time left to waste. Now that we're middle-aged, we should cherish the happy times we have instead of wasting time on regret and hatred. Nan, right from the beginning, you are the only one I've ever loved. I fell for Qiao Zijin's trap that day. She was the one who made me drunk. If it was not for the fact that he had been drunk, he would definitely have worn protection while doing it with Qiao Zijin, even if she was unwilling to eat a contraceptive. Qiao Zijin would never have had the chance to get pregnant. Nan, give me another chance. Just one. I assure you that I'll prove my determination to you in the future. As long as you're willing to return to my side, you can get back at me or punish me in any way you like. As long as Qiao Nan agreed to return to his side and give him a feeling of home. That won't be necessary. If not for the fact that she could not open the door, Qiao Nan wanted very much to chase Chen Jun away with a broom. This man was downright disgusting. When Qiao Zijin had been hospitalized, she had unknowingly overheard Qiao Zijin saying that she had cheated on Chen Jun because Chen Jun had done so first. Chen Jun had a countless number of women outside of their marriage. She had never made a fuss out of it, not out of ignorance, but because she did not want to create trouble. She had once received a call from a 20-year-old university student, asking her to back off and allow this true love to have her rightful position. Chen Jun, I'm not going to open the door for you today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. You might think that I'm refusing to open the door for you or reconcile with you because I'm still upset about your betrayal. But I'm telling you now that that's not the case. I'm doing this for the sake of my own happiness, so I'm never going to get back together with you. Even if all the men in this world die, I'd much rather remain single for the rest of my life than marry you. Don't talk about hatred. I've long lost any feelings toward you. Hatred? Nonsense. There was still a little resentment. But even this had all but disappeared the moment she woke up after the car accident. In her eyes, Chen Jun was simply her brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, to be exact. There was nothing more to it. Even if Chen Jun was so shameless and wanted to get back together with her, she was not. Qiao Nan could not help but pick up her phone to call the Chen family. Are you not going to care about Chen Jun's ridiculous actions? The Chen family is still a reputable family in Pingcheng. Is your family prepared to be humiliated by your son clinging on to his ex-wife's sister who was once his sister-in-law? Upon hearing Qiao Nan's questioning, Father Chen frowned. What tone are you using on me? Is this how you should be treating your elders? Actually, both your mom and I already agreed to you being with Chen Jun at that time. It's just that something unfortunate happened. It's true that this is slightly complicated to deal with. You're not shameless enough, and with the Qiao family bugging you, I understand that you're feeling frustrated. But your concerns are no longer a problem. Chen Jun will be transferred out of Pingcheng, and our whole family will be leaving together. You can just get married to Chen Jun once we reach the new place. Qiao Nan's words might have been unpleasant and her tone curt, but at the very least, what she had said had been out of consideration of the Chen family. Based on this, Father Chen was willing to forgive Qiao Nan just this once, but he would never do so again. Qiao Nan could not speak as agitatedly and sharply as Qiao Zijin. Qiao Nan finally understood why Chen Jun could be so brazen and shameless as to demand a reconciliation, not caring about comments from others. It was because the Chen family had already found a way out of this mess. She had been curious about it. After all, Chen Jun was not such a shameless person, much less Father and Mother Chen. There was no way the Chen family could care so much about her that they were willing to give up their reputation. Now, the facts proved that she was indeed not so important to the Chen family, much less to Chen Jun. I'm sorry, Uncle Chen. I hope that you'll make a call to your son. I have absolutely no feelings for Chen Jun. I only treat him as my brother-in-law. I hope you understand. Chen Feng is still young and needs someone to take care of him. I hope Chen Jun will get remarried. As long as you have someone suitable in mind, I wholeheartedly support Chen Jun getting remarried. If a woman had true feelings for a man, she would never support him marrying another woman, especially when he had just proposed reconciliation. Are you saying this out of spite? Or are you really sincere about it? Father Chen was much calmer than Chen Jun. He thought that Jiaonan was someone who looked soft on the outside but was strong on the inside. Although she was docile and gentle normally, she could flare up once she got angry. Otherwise, Jiaonan would have been trampled upon by the Chiao family long ago. He himself had not forgotten about that incident, so it was no wonder that Jiaonan still kept that in mind. Chapter 1823, made her stand clear. Upon hearing Jiaonan's cool tone in blessing his son's remarriage, Father Chen sighed. Having missed it once, his son had missed it for his whole life. Jiaonan truly did not have feelings for Chen Jun anymore. Father Chen did not think that his son would not be able to find a suitable partner for marriage even if he were to leave the Chiao sisters. But it would probably be hard to find someone as suitable for marriage as Jiaonan. He already had an extremely good understanding of Jiaonan. If a new lady were to appear, no matter how much effort he put in, most of what he understood of that lady would still be superficial or even fake. If they were not careful, they might even end up with another troublemaker in the Chen family. That would not be an ideal situation at all. It was easy to simply talk about understanding a person and marrying that person. But Jiaonan was such a person. Truthfully, Jiaonan breathed a sigh of relief upon hearing that Father Chen had understood her intentions. Father Chen was a sly old fox and would never do anything that disadvantaged himself. Chen Jun was still young, after all, and could not stand it. Indeed, she had only been able to convince Father Chen. Let your son leave. Chen Jun said something that is absolutely right. I'm not young anymore, and I don't have much time to waste. If someone else sees us and misunderstands, I'll have no explanation for them. Uncle Chen, you should know that the Chen family still owes me an apology for what happened that year. You misunderstood me once. It shouldn't happen again, right? Jiaonan deliberately remained ambiguous, allowing Father Chen to misunderstand her words in hopes that he would chase Chen Jun away. You have someone in mind. Father Chen's tone was a little different. It was not just Chen Jun who misunderstood but Father Chen as well. Would Jiaonan really not get married if Ding Jiyi did not allow her to do so? Jiaonan was not a 3-year-old child. Could it be that Jiaonan still had some feelings for Chen Jun? Was that why she had remained single up until the age of 40? But Father Chen knew that he had been overthinking. It was not that Jiaonan could not get over his son, Chen Jun, and had been unwilling to start a new relationship. In fact, it was because of the Chiao family that Jiaonan could not get married even if she wanted to. If that was not the case, why was it that Jiaonan suddenly had someone in mind and seemed to be getting married soon after leaving the Chiao family for no more than 2 months? Everyone had dignity, after all. After understanding that Jiaonan did not intend on getting back with Chen Jun, Father Chen did not want his highly respected son to cling to an old single unmarried lady like Jiaonan. As such, Father Chen came to a decision. All right. I'm happy for you two that you are living a good life. You're right. The Chen family owes you an apology. If you encounter any problems in the future, you can still come and look for us. I'll ask Chen Jun to leave. People were just so complicated sometimes. Father Chen knew that it would not be easy to find a lady that was more suitable for Chen Jun than Jiaonan. Thus, he had only allowed Chen Jun to reconcile with Jiaonan because Jiaonan would be advantageous to the Chen family. But now that Jiaonan had refused and had subtly hinted that she was taken, Father Chen was not going to insist on it and persistently chase after her. In fact, how he truly felt was that Jiao Nan should scram since she was being so picky and choosy even though the Chen family did not even mind her age. All right, thank you. Even though Jiao Nan had no intention of ever looking for the Chen family, she simply agreed. All she wanted was for Father Chen to chase Chen Jun away as quickly as possible. She was especially afraid that other people would see Chen Jun looking for her. Then, she might even have to come up with a ton of explanations for Chen Jun's visit. Jiao Nan did not wish to explain anything personal. Thankfully, Father Chen was a man of actions. For the sake of his dignity, Father Chen was unwilling for his son to die for Jiao Nan. After a moment of music, the knocks on the door and the confessions ceased. Jiao Nan guessed that Chen Jun must be talking to Father Chen on the phone. At this moment, Jiao Nan could not help but frown and try to recall what had happened in her dream. In her dream, she had not taken the same path as she had in reality. She had not gotten back with Chen Jun, and she had even suspected that Chen Jun had originally dated her with an ulterior motive. In the quad, the Zhu family had been pretty impressive. But in reality, in her dream, she had been a little firmer in her stance. Chen Jun had not continued to pester her and had, in fact, given up. Why were the Chen Jun in real life and the Chen Jun in her dream so different? The Chen Jun in real life was even thinking of marrying her. How frightening! Jiao Nan, who had goosebumps all over, had overlooked one fact. She had never gotten into a relationship with Chen Jun in her dream. The ever-successful Chen Jun had met with countless obstacles while chasing her. With no feelings between them, there was no way Chen Jun would have developed any feelings for Jiao Nan in the face of all these obstacles. In reality, Jiao Nan had dated Chen Jun for a period of time and had even reached the point of discussing marriage. Without a solid foundation, after achieving his own goals, Chen Jun could have simply dumped Jiao Nan, let alone marry her. No matter how bad Chen Jun was, it was only natural that he could not be as proud as he had been in her dream because of his feelings. After hanging up on Father Chen, Chen Jun was flabbergasted. That's impossible. He's lying. I don't believe him. How could that be? Jiao Nan was leaving him and had fallen for another guy? And she was even getting married to that guy? That was impossible. Jiao Nan, open the door. Tell me truthfully. Which man did you hook up with behind my back? Who could you possibly marry apart from me? Who? Bring that bast *RD out right now. Open the door. Right now. On his way here, Chen Jun thought that he might need to suffer a little before getting back together with Jiao Nan. After all, Jiao Nan was not going to forgive him so easily. Chen Jun had been prepared for all that. But Chen Jun had been absolutely confident that he would never fail this mission. Upon hearing that Jiao Nan no longer liked him and that she even had someone else in mind, Chen Jun could not help but fly into a rage. Open the door now. Open it. Chen Jun shouted as he pounded against the door. After a while, he even used his leg to kick against the door. Looking at the door quaking and the position of the lock shifting a little, Jiao Nan was taken aback. Chen Jun had once been part of the military police and had spent time in the military. It went without saying that he was powerful. With Chen Jun's way of kicking against the door, it was highly likely that he would eventually kick the door open. No one would know what might happen once Chen Jun saw her. Chapter 1824, Making a Move. Jiao Nan was not afraid of speaking to Chen Jun. She was simply afraid that Chen Jun would use brute force and drag her away. What would she do then? Chen Jun was a commissioner and was about to be transferred. She, on the other hand, was just a normal civilian. How would she be able to fight back against Chen Jun? Jiao Nan turned pale at the thought of this and quickly called her landlord, requesting some assistance. She was renting an apartment, after all. Chen Jun would have nothing to say about her landlord coming to check on someone damaging her property. But the strange thing was that her landlord did not pick up her call, and the call went straight to her landlord's voicemail. Could it be that her landlord had forgotten to bring her phone along with her? The problem was that she could not afford to wait any longer with this present situation. Xiaonan needed someone, but she was in Qingshui town, an unfamiliar environment. Now that it was almost the new year, her neighbors had mostly returned to their hometowns to celebrate. Even those who had stayed behind were probably working overtime. Because her landlord was unreachable, there was no one Xiaonan could turn to. In that moment, Xiaonan suddenly realized that her entire mind was filled with Zai Sheng's name. She had truly been too affected by her dream. Thankfully, after thinking of Zai Sheng, Xiaonan thought of another person, Xiao Su. Xiao Su was the landlord's son and would definitely inherit the house in the future. If she was unable to get in contact with her landlord, getting in touch with Xiao Su was fine as well. Xiao Su was still in the army, and his strength should not be any less than Chen Jun's. If she got anyone else to help her, she would even have to worry whether those people would be a match for Chen Jun. They might even get punched by Chen Jun instead. But if Xiao Su were to turn up, Xiaonan would not have to worry about that. As such, Xiaonan took a deep breath and quickly took out her phone to make a call to Zai Sheng. She had no other choice since she did not know Xiao Su's mobile phone number. Thus, she could only call Zai Sheng to look for Xiao Su. "Chief, Sister Qiao is calling." Since that first time he had heard the conversation between the chief and his family, Xiao Su realized that he had been unable to face Xiaonan. The chief had truly fallen for Sister Qiao and wanted Sister Qiao to be his wife. Thinking about how his brothers in the military had been worried about the chief staying single at his age and wondering about what kind of woman the chief would eventually marry, Xiao Su almost suffocated from holding such a huge secret in. He could hardly wait to rush back to break the news to all of his comrades. Seeing Xiaonan call Zai Sheng, Xiao Su was so excited that he nearly dropped the phone. The chief's wife was calling the chief. "Oh, bring it over." Overlooking Xiao Su's excitement, Zai Sheng's eyes glimmered. This was the first time Xiaonan called him on her own accord after getting his number. "Hello, Xiaonan." "Bro Zai." Zai Sheng answered the call immediately, causing Xiaonan's voice to change. Zai Sheng could sense that something was amiss through Xiaonan's tone. "What's wrong? And what's that noise over on your side? Are your neighbors fighting?" "Bro Zai, I'm looking for Xiao Su. I'm in a little trouble. Can you get Xiao Su to make a trip down?" Xiaonan did not give a direct answer and only asked Xiao Su to make his way to her rented apartment. Looking at how Chen Jun was kicking up a fuss, Xiaonan was afraid that Chen Jun might just tear down her rented apartment. From the call, it was only natural that Zai Sheng was not able to figure out what kind of trouble Xiaonan had gotten into. But this did not stop Zai Sheng from wanting to help Xiaonan. "All right, we'll be there soon." After hanging up the phone, Zai Sheng stood up from his wheelchair. "Xiao Su, get the car out and follow me to Xiaonan's." "Oh, all right." Because the phone call had been so short, Xiao Su had not been able to hear the contents of the call. But Xiao Su did not think that it was strange for Zai Sheng to go and find Xiaonan. In fact, Xiao Su wondered why the chief was not taking any actions on his own since he had feelings for Sister Qiao and since his parents had already come all the way to meet their daughter-in-law. Could it be that the chief was waiting for Xiaonan to ask to be his wife? Now that the chief was finally making a move, Xiao Su supported him all the way and quickly drove the car out. Zai Yaowai and Miao Jing, who had just returned from their walk, asked Xiao Su, "Where are you going?" "Old chief, Madam Zai, the chief is going to meet Sister Qiao. He's finally making a move." Zai Yaowai had the same thought. They had already been here for 3 days but had not seen that young lady even once. After several chats, Zai Yaowai had gotten a better understanding of Xiaonan. All right, it seemed that his son had fallen for a lady who did not care for him and one who knew her place and had been keeping her distance from him. No wonder Zai Sheng had not allowed Miao Miao and him to pick an expensive gift for Xiaonan. If Zai Sheng's description of Xiaonan was accurate, a bracelet worth 100,000 yuan might very well scare Qiao Nan off. Can we tag along to take a look? Old Zai and I can make our own way there. If they were to ask Zai Sheng, he would surely reject that suggestion. After hearing praises of that lady, she had to see and experience it for herself. Miao Jing pushed Zai Yayawai to agree. She could not count on her son, so she could only hope that her man would be able to satisfy her desires. There's no hurry. Once your son settles your daughter-in-law, he'll bring her to meet you. Zai Yayawai was curious as well. But as a father-in-law, he had to be steady and mature in front of his daughter-in-law. Since that lady was in no hurry, all the more they should not be in a hurry. They had to be steady and wait. Otherwise, they might leave a bad impression on their daughter-in-law. All right, hurry on. Don't let Zai Sheng wait for you. Okay. Xiao Su drove to the door, where Zai Sheng was already waiting. Chief, where's the wheelchair? We won't bring it. If the noise in the call was not from her neighbor but from the trouble Qiao Nan was talking about, going in a wheelchair would be creating more trouble for Qiao Nan instead of helping her. Drive faster. I'm clearest about my own body. I don't have much problem moving around now. Oh, okay. Xiao Su nodded curiously. Just a few days earlier, the old chief and Madame Zai had wanted to meet Sister Qiao, but the chief had refused to make an appointment with Sister Qiao. It seemed a little rushed that the chief was suddenly being so passionate today. It was only when Xiao Su parked his car did he realize why Zai Sheng was in such a hurry. F***ck. Who's that kicking my door? Of course Xiao Su recognized his own house. Wait a minute. Isn't that Sister Qiao's rented apartment? Has he gotten the wrong person? Even so, he shouldn't kick on the door. Chapter 1825, Where's this lousy good from? Immediately, Xiao Su hopped off the car and rushed up to the person kicking on his door. Hey, who are you? Why are you kicking my door? Stop right now. Chen Jun was enraged. He had not been able to find Qiao Nan's partner, but Xiao Su had turned out on his own accord and had claimed that this was his house. Was it possible for Chen Jun not to misunderstand him? Chen Jun did not look carefully at Xiao Su and thus failed to realize that there was no way Qiao Nan would be together with him since he was only a young chap of 20-something. All he knew was that Xiao Su had admitted that this was his house and his door. You little brat! You're still a kid and you're trying to snatch my woman away from me? Are you tired of living? Chen Jun's face turned green and he swung his fist toward Xiao Su. Xiao Su was totally unprepared for a fight, but his body reacted instinctively. Not only did he manage to dodge the blow but he was even able to attack Chen Jun. Xiao Su, who was adept at martial arts, left Chen Jun helpless. After a few blows, Chen Jun suffered a great loss. One was a new soldier who had never stopped training, while the other was a commissioner who had not worked in the armed police force for a long time. One did not even need to think to know who was better at fighting. With a swift move, Xiao Su pinned Chen Jun against the wall. Be a little humbler. You should take a look at the line of work I'm in before bragging and showing off in front of me. Tell me who you are. Why have you come to wreck my house? Chen Jun's face was black and blue at that moment. Not only had Qiao Nan cheated on him, but Qiao Nan's man had even beaten him up. Chen Jun had never been at such a great disadvantage throughout his whole life. Do you know who I am? I'll make your life unbearable if you dare to do this to me. Xiao Su chuckled. Oh, I really have no idea who you are. Why don't you surprise me? I grew up being surprised. He took care of the chief and he had even met the old chief. He wondered what kind of important figure the guy he had caught could possibly be to be able to frighten him. Now that Xiao Su had said that, it was truly inconvenient for Chen Jun to expose his own identity. He was not in such a high position that ordinary people across the country would recognize him. I'm warning you to let go of me. You've gotten yourself into big trouble with your actions today. I'll make your life in Qingshui town unbearable. The sound of Chen Jun kicking on the door ceased, and what followed was the sound of people fighting outside her door. Xiao Nan released a breath of relief. Only then did she dare to look outside. She did not see anything, but Chen Jun's voice had not disappeared either. Through the door, Xiao Nan could not help but ask, "Xiao Su, is that you?" "Sister Xiao, it's me. You can open the door now. This lousy good is under my control." Humph! He kept going on about how Xiao Su was in big trouble now, but he had not revealed his own identity. Was he tooting his own trumpet and exaggerating? That's great! Hearing that Xiao Su had Chen Jun in his grip, Xiao Nan was relieved and opened the door. "Thank you, Xiao Su. I'm sorry for making you make this trip down." Xiao Su had his own job, and it should have been the landlord couple taking care of anything to do with the house. "Sister Xiao, you're being too polite. This is what I should be doing now that you're living in our house." If he did not protect the chief's wife well, his comrades would make a joke of him before giving him a severe beating because he had been in the military for such a long time. They had finally managed to get themselves a matriarch, and the chief had finally found a new start in his life. If he were to ruin this relationship, he would be too ashamed to face his comrades again. "This is your house." Chen Jun only knew that Xiao Nan was renting an apartment but did not know who the landlord was. Hearing Xiao Su say that this was his house, Chen Jun had completely misunderstood him. After a long while, Chen Jun finally had some rationality in him. "Brother, it's all a misunderstanding. I thought you were. I'm her husband. I'm here to pick my wife up. You should have a girlfriend at this age, and you should know that women can be quite unreasonable once they throw tantrums. Can you leave us alone to handle this matter between us?" Now that he had already embarrassed himself, Chen Jun could not possibly reveal his identity and leave such a mark on his name right before leaving Pingcheng. So this young chap was Xiao Nan's landlord. He had thought that Xiao Nan had found a stray dog for herself. Nonsense! Xiao Su's face flushed red with anger. "What a cheater you are! Or are you a kidnapper? Sister Xiao is single. More importantly, Sister Xiao was going to be the chief's wife in the future. How could she be married to such a useless thing? The chief was 100, even 1,000, times better than this lousy good here. How could this fool try to fight with the chief over Sister Xiao? He was too bold." Thinking about how the other party was trying to snatch Sister Xiao away from the chief, Xiao Su had to resist the urge to punch him. "It's true. We're really married. We got into an argument and she left home. I'm here to bring her home. Our child is still waiting for her at home." Chen Jun had no choice but to use Chen Feng as an excuse. Since Chen Feng shared a good relationship with Xiao Nan definitely liked Chen Feng. He did not believe that Xiao Nan would not feel a thing at the mention of Chen Feng. For Chen Feng's sake, Xiao Nan would probably follow him back obediently. Hearing Chen Feng's name, Xiao Nan did not know whether to laugh or cry. Of course she remembered this child. What's more, she especially remembered how Xiao Zijin had thrown Chen Feng over to her, and how she had raised Chen Feng. She had only treated Chen Feng well because she felt that the child was innocent. At that time, Xiao Zijin had snatched Chen Jun away on the basis of Chen Feng's existence. The premise of that was that Chen Jun had acted waywardly too. She did not believe that Chen Jun had not been able to recognize that Xiao Zijin had been trying to hit on him. Knowing that his fiancée's sister had feelings for him and was trying to take her place, Chen Jun had allowed himself to spend time with Xiao Zijin alone, and he had even gotten her pregnant. Xiao Zijin was responsible, and so was Chen Jun. But Chen Feng had nothing to do with all this. Chen Feng was her only nephew, so it was only right for her to treat Chen Feng well. But Chen Feng was nothing more than her nephew. How foolish would she have to be to decide to marry a sly old fox like Chen Jun and sacrifice her own happiness for the sake of a nephew? He was just a nephew. Why should she sacrifice so much for someone that was not even her son? Where had Chen Jun gotten such a ridiculous idea? Chapter 1826, Shameless. What Chen Feng needs is his mother, not his aunt. If you really care so much about Chen Feng, you should have a discussion with Xiao Zijin to see how to treat her illness. Xiao Nan did not want Xiao Su to misunderstand and have the idea that she was the kind of woman who would abandon her own husband and son, especially when the person concerned was Chen Jun. She had no intention of taking the rap for Chen Jun. If you can find me, I'm sure you can get in contact with Xiao Zijin. Perhaps she's been waiting all day for you to call her. Don't talk about that b*tch. No matter whom he married, he would never let Xiao Zijin enter the Chen family ever again. Xiao Nan, you should know that you are completely different from Xiao Zijin, and you should also know all about what Xiao Zijin did to me. It's true that I let you down in the past, but I didn't do it on purpose. I wanted to marry you and you've been the only one I've loved all along. That was just an accident. Why must you say such things to hurt me and yourself? So the chief's wife actually knew this guy and had even had a relationship with him. I knew it. I knew you weren't any good. He had already been in a relationship with the chief's wife but had gotten her sister pregnant. What a **RD. Thankfully, this fool was a **road. Otherwise, Sister Qiao would never have gotten the chance to meet the chief or become the chief's wife. Zai Sheng, who had been much slower than Xiao Su, finally caught up. How do you plan on settling this matter? You. Why are you here? Upon seeing Zai Sheng, Xiao Nan had an inexplicable sense of guilt. She did not dare to look Zai Sheng in the eye, much less talk about Chen Jun in front of Zai Sheng. She did not even understand why she felt guilty. Oh, I was worried about you. It was just a simple sentence, but it was rather arousing. Have you thought about how you intend on dealing with this matter? If it's inconvenient for you, I can help you out. With Sun Kuaheng's help. Zai Sheng knew all about how Xiao Nan had once dated Chen Jun and had even nearly gotten married to him even though Xiao Nan had not said anything to him. If it had not been for Chen Jun's own poor self-control that he had chosen Xiao Zijin, Zai Sheng would not even stand a chance now. In fact, Zai Sheng had to thank Chen Jun for his blunder at that time. Regardless, he had to punish Chen Jun for hurting Xiao Nan. Xiao Nan eyed Chen Jun. There's no need to deal with him. He's quite a well-known person in Pingcheng. He's only here to make a fuss in Qingshui town because no one will recognize him here. If the news I received is correct, he's been promoted and will be transferred out of Pingcheng. From now on, there will be no chance for me to meet him again. What nonsense! Chen Jun had not gotten married to her. He had only gotten engaged to her. Even after Chen Jun married Xiao Zijin, he had continued partying and having affairs. Compared to Xiao Zijin, what she had suffered at that time was nothing. Most importantly, Xiao Nan had absolutely no feelings for Chen Jun. Not only did she feel distasteful looking at Chen Jun, but she also felt that Chen Jun was nothing more than an eyesore. She wished that Chen Jun would disappear from her sight as quickly as possible. If she were to try to deal with Chen Jun, there might very well be no end to this whole matter. Xiao Nan took a deep breath. I don't know what has gotten into you that you've made a trip down to spout all this nonsense to me. I've made my stance very clear and I believe that your dad has told you all about it. Don't ever come here again. Even if we bump into each other in the future, I hope that you'll pretend not to know me. It was probably an accumulation of 10 lifetimes worth of bad luck that I met you. Don't tell me that it was an accident that Xiao Zijin got pregnant with your child. To me, the outcome is the same anyway. If at any point in time you decide to forgive Xiao Zijin and are willing to reconcile with Xiao Zijin to give Chen Feng a complete family, I might forgive you for what you did with Xiao Zijin. If that's the case, there's no point in me holding a grudge since the three of you will have a blissful life anyway. In short, it was simply impossible between Chen Jun and her. She would much rather stay single for her whole life than get married to this bast *RD, Chen Jun, much less for Chen Feng's sake. You're so heartless. She had already taken Xiao Zijin's matter out as a basis of comparison. No matter how self-absorbed Chen Jun was, he was able to feel that Xiao Nan's heart had indeed changed. He was nostalgic about the past he had had with Xiao Nan and wished that those things had never happened. More than anything, he wished that his relationship with Xiao Nan could return to what it had been in the past. Chen Jun gritted his teeth unwillingly. I'm sure you've heard that children will have stepfathers once they have stepmothers. Do you know how Chen Feng will be affected if I were to marry a woman apart from you? Xiao Nan was so angered by Chen Jun's shamelessness that she could not help but laugh. You know very well that Chen Feng is your son, not mine. He's just my nephew. I think I've already been very kind and generous by treating Chen Feng just like any other nephew even after what happened that year. Now, you're expecting me to treat him as my biological son and sacrifice my own happiness for his happiness and his future. Chen Feng was Chen Jun's biological son. Chen Jun had not spared a thought for Chen Feng and had even said such a thing as to how he was willing to let his new wife abuse Chen Feng. So what could she do as an outsider? There was nothing she could say or do. This was the Chen family's own matters. She had nothing to do with it at all. The ones who should be worried about how Chen Feng is doing should be Xiao Zijin and Ding Jie. Chen Jun, you're looking for the wrong person. Xiao Nan was mentally exhausted. With Chen Jun's background, he could easily find an 18-year-old young lady to get married to. Why was he clinging on to an old lady in her 40s? What was going on in Chen Jun's mind? Xiao Su, let him go. He won't be able to leave if you don't let him go. Xiao Su glanced at Chen Jun and finally let him go after ensuring that Chen Jun would not be a danger to them. I'm warning you to be more humble in front of us. If he dared to do anything to the chief's wife or say anything mean to her, he would no longer be so polite toward him. He might even go all out. Chen Jun's hands hurt from Xiao Su's grip on him. Chen Jun looked at Xiao Nan with a steely face. Xiao Nan, you're turning 40 this year. Do you really think you'll be able to find someone better than me? Will you really not regret it? I've already given you a chance. Don't regret it after today. You're no different from Xiao Zijin from now on. Don't think that the Xiao family is the only one with daughters in this world. Chapter 1827, Rubbish. In front of outsiders, especially since he had already humiliated himself, Chen Jun's attitude toward Xiao Nan hardened and his words were nasty and mean. But whatever Chen Jun had said was the truth. Is that so? How good are you? Zai Sheng laughed. It was truly a novel experience for Zai Sheng that a man was bragging about himself in front of him and was even trying to snatch away the woman he liked. Zai Sheng posed that question as he stood by Xiao Nan. Zai Sheng's small action was enough for all the men present to understand what Zai Sheng meant. Only Xiao Nan thought that Zai Sheng had stood beside her to embolden her. Xiao Su's eyes widened like saucers. Was the chief finally showing off his power? Chen Jun's eyes were red in anger. A young one had just left, and now it was this old guy's turn. Xiao Nan had indeed found some wild men. No wonder Xiao Nan refused to accept his apology and forgive him no matter how hard he begged. What are you? And you are? Aren't you just a pair of rotten old sneakers? I didn't know that there are so many people who like collecting rubbish in this world. I guess you aren't very well off yourself if you are willing to accept someone like Xiao Nan at your age. You're just a lousy good. I'll give her to you if you want her. The enraged Chen Jun was now speaking freely and started to insult Xiao Nan. Zai Sheng, whose expression had been rather peaceful all this time, narrowed his eyes and tilted his body as soon as he heard Chen Jun's words. He pushed Chen Jun ever so slightly, and Chen Jun fell straight to the ground some distance away. For a while, Chen Jun was so stunned that he had not been able to pick himself up. Chen Jun had already known about Xiao Su's martial arts skills. Xiao Su had been able to subdue him. And with the different aura that he gave off, Chen Jun understood perfectly that Xiao Su was from the military. But unlike him, Xiao Su had undergone more rigorous and torturous training to have such amazing skills. In short, this young man was a soldier. The problem was that Chen Jun had gotten an idea of Xiao Su's identity, but he had not focused on Zai Sheng, who seemed to be an old man who had trouble even walking. But now that Zai Sheng had shown his hand, Chen Jun could not help but take notice. "Who are you? Is your surname Zai?" The Zai family held an extraordinary position in Pingcheng. Chen Jun had taken a great amount of effort to get to know Wang Yang. Of course, his true target had not been Wang Yang, but the Zhu family who was backing Wang Yang. The Zai family had been of the same status as the Zhu family and had even surpassed the Zhu family by now. How could Chen Jun not want to get acquainted with the Zai family that was even more impressive than the Zhu family? Of course he did. The problem was that Chen Jun had only managed to get acquainted with Wang Yang because of his girlfriend, Xiao Nan. It would be even harder to get connected to the Zai family and become part of the Zai family. Chen Jun knew of the Zai family's situation but had never interacted with any of them in the past. After stealing a few glances at Zai Sheng, Chen Jun felt that Zai Sheng looked particularly familiar. Chen Jun's dark expression immediately turned pale. Could he be that important figure? That was impossible. If such an important person were to appear, there would definitely be a whole bunch of people surrounding him. Besides, the Zai family had already moved to the capital a few years ago. Why would they appear in such a remote town like Qingshui? Wait a minute. The Zai family's old villa seemed to be in Qingshui town. After Chief Zai's grandpa passed on, the Zai family had returned to Qingshui town to rebuild the old villa. So it was not entirely impossible for Zai Sheng to appear in Qingshui town. What does it have to do with you whether our chief's surname is Zai? Humph, who was he to question the chief with such a tone? His chief was amazing. He had thrown that rascal out with only one hand. Xiao Su's words pretty much admitted Zai Sheng's identity, indirectly proving that Chen Jun's conjecture had been correct. Upon confirming who Zai Sheng was, Chen Jun did not know how to react. He had just claimed that Jiao Nan would never be able to find someone better than him. In less than a minute, someone who was several times better than him, and someone whom he aspired to be was standing right next to Jiao Nan, and that person had even publicly declared his thoughts toward Jiao Nan. This slap in the face was extremely painful for Chen Jun. Since he was already a chief and at the peak of his life, why did he have to snatch these old ladies who could not get married from insignificant soldiers like himself? Was there a need to have such a particular taste? Could he not simply pick a few young and pretty ladies? Are you going to stay to kick up an even greater fuss, or are you going to leave? Zai Sheng respected Jiao Nan's decision. Since Jiao Nan did not have any intentions of quarreling with Chen Jun or settling their old scores and wanted only for Chen Jun to leave as quickly as possible, there was no reason for Zai Sheng to say otherwise. Upon hearing Chen Jun's feelings for Jiao Nan and his desire to reconcile with Jiao Nan and marry her, Zai Sheng had been anxious for a split second. Perhaps ordinary people would think that Chen Jun would be able to get married to someone better with his status. Why did he have to turn back and get back together with Jiao Nan, who was like a flower that was almost wilting? But only Zai Sheng understood that Chen Jun was not being foolish. In fact, Chen Jun's mind was exceptionally clear, and this was truly a smart move. Who said that pretty and young women were the best? What nonsense! Most of those who looked for pretty and young girls were not really looking for good women to marry and have children together. No matter how young or beautiful these women were, there would eventually come a day when these flowers would wilt. When that time came, would these men suddenly change their preferences for women? As such, these people led very interesting and turbulent lives. Zai Sheng was not a person like that. When he was younger, he had never liked women like Chu Jinxai. Now that he was already 45 years old, it was only natural that he would never regress and have such shallow thoughts. But it was uncommon to see men like Chen Jun, who was superficial and lacked self-control, to come to such a realization at their peak. Continue making a fuss? What rights did he have to do so? He had been proud that he had once been an armed police officer. But in front of Chief Zai or that soldier, his skills were no different from a 3-year-old trying to wield a sword. It was simply ridiculous. If they were to compare their statuses, he could not match up to Zai Sheng. If they were to compare their martial arts skills, he would definitely lose out too. So what was there left for them to compete with for Qiao Nan's hand? There was simply nothing else. Chapter 1828, Not to Scare You. Chen Jun crawled up from the ground in embarrassment. Chief Zai, I'm sorry. I wasn't lying. It's truly a private matter between me and Qiao Nan. But since we're unable to come to an agreement, I won't force her either. I'm sorry for causing any trouble today. Chief Zai had personally come down to deal with him. Chen Jun's gaze, which was full of confusion, landed on Zai Sheng from time to time. Did Zai Sheng mean that he was intentionally helping Qiao Nan and had done so to scare Chen Jun away? Or did Zai Sheng really have feelings for Qiao Nan and intend to marry her? At the thought of that, Chen Jun's face turned green and purple, then black and red all at once. It was as if his face was a palette of colors. Chief, what do you think that rascal meant by his expressions when he left? Xiao Su scratched his head and asked curiously. I think he got a cramp in his face. Xiao Su tried imitating Chen Jun's expressions but realized that it was too difficult to do so. Xiao Su had gotten a cramp from trying but was still unable to imitate Chen Jun's expression. Ugly, Zai Sheng said in disgust, scaring Xiao Su so much that he did not say anything and he quickly returned to his usual self. Sister Qiao, are you all right? Were you frightened? That rascal was a bast *RD. A huge bast *RD. I'm fine. Thankfully, you guys made it here in time. Qiao Nan shook her head. If Xiao Su had gotten here any later, she could not be sure of what would have happened next. What she knew was that her door would not be able to withstand Chen Jun's kicks. Oh right, Xiao Su. I think that door was damaged pretty badly. It's probably time to change it. I'll pay for it. If it had not been for her, Chen Jun would never have found this place and taken his anger out on Xiao Su's door. Besides, only by changing the door would Qiao Nan be able to continue living there with peace of mind. Otherwise, with the door in its current condition, Qiao Nan would not even be able to fall asleep tonight. Thinking about how Chen Jun had not been joking around and had truly wanted to reconcile with her for her to be the stepmother of her nephew, Chen Feng, Qiao Nan felt a chill run down her spine. How could Chen Jun have such a ridiculous idea? And how could father and mother Chen not object to his idea? Was the Chen family crazy? Even if she could not get married, she would never fall for Chen Jun again. Qiao Nan could not even accept the thought of being dragged away by Chen Jun to become Chen Feng's stepmother. If that were to become reality, Qiao Nan would much rather die. No, it's our house. Besides, it's not your fault that that rascal came to create trouble for you. We'll change the door for you. It was just a door. Would he argue with the chief's wife over such a trivial matter? As long as the chief's wife could lead a good life with the chief in the future and give birth to a small chief, he would not have a single complaint demolishing this house to build a new one for her, let alone change a single door. Of course, it was still a little too early to say such things. Xiao Su dared to think about these things but dared not voice his thoughts out loud. Qiao Nan had thanked Xiao Su incessantly but had not said anything to Zai Sheng. Because of that, Zai Sheng felt a little sour. Zai Sheng looked toward the door and said, "You can't use this door anymore. You can't just change the lock. Xiao Su, how long will it take to buy a suitable door, install it, and get a lock fitted?" Initially, Xiao Su had wanted to ask Zai Sheng what he meant by that. With his handy hands, he would take no more than an hour to change a door. But when he heard Zai Sheng talking about buying a suitable door, installing a lock, and all those procedures that sounded complicated, Xiao Su finally understood what Zai Sheng meant. While saying that, Xiao Su looked at Qiao Nan helplessly. "Sister Qiao, don't mind me speaking the truth. What happened today was an accident. No one wanted it to happen. This is our house, so if any repairs are needed, it's only right for us to bear the costs." No. Qiao Nan felt extremely guilty. "I should pay for this door. She was only a tenant. If anything in the house was damaged during her lease, she would have to compensate her landlord for it. She would not shirk away from this responsibility. She had to call a spade a spade." Even though Xiao Su was willing to take the blame for this, Qiao Nan absolutely refused to give in. As for anger, where should she start? She was already thanking the heavens that Xiao Su had not gotten angry over the incident or decided to end her lease over the trouble she had caused him. Xiao Su chuckled. Qiao Nan was indeed fit to be the chief's wife with her uprightness. Qiao Nan was just as righteous as them soldiers from the military. "Sister Qiao, don't worry. How much could a door and a lock cost? More importantly, money is not our concern at the moment. You know that it'll be the new year in half a month. Qingshui town is a small town. Quite a few shops have already shut their business in preparation for the new year, so I'm afraid that no one will be able to fix this door for the time being." Qiao Nan was dumbfounded. "So what should we do?" The door was on the verge of falling apart. Qiao Nan would not be able to get through the night with the door in this state, let alone wait until after the new year. Xiao Su glanced at Zai Sheng from the corner of his eyes, observing Zai Sheng's reaction as he said that. If Zai Sheng had no reaction, Xiao Su would simply continue and speak based on his assumptions. If Zai Sheng's eyebrows were furrowed, Xiao Su would change his tone and steer the conversation in another direction. Qiao Nan, who had been in a panic about what she should do before the door was repaired, had missed this scene before her eyes. She was too immersed in her own worries. "I think it won't be too difficult to solve this problem. I'll just have to trouble you a little, Sister Qiao. Why don't you find somewhere to stay for the time being before we change the door?" "Chief, this is what you meant, right?" Qiao Nan furrowed her brows. "Do you mean a hotel? If I have no other choice, I guess I'll look for one and rent a room for a month." As soon as she said that, Qiao Nan felt a pinch. Renting a hotel room would not be as cheap as renting an apartment. With the money spent on a month's rent on a hotel room, Qiao Nan could pay for 2 to 3 months' rent in an apartment. But because she had invited trouble over, Qiao Nan could only swallow this bitter fruit. Xiao Su felt his scalp tighten. "Sister Qiao, I'm not trying to scare you, but Qingshui town is a really small place. Just like what you said, we only have small motels. There aren't any large hotels around. The security in small motels can't compare with those of large hotels. I think you might as well continue staying here if you decide to stay in a small motel." Chapter 1829, Don't consider it anymore. He was not exaggerating at all. There were quite a lot of those people who eyed on single women and would give them name cards or knock on their doors late at night. But as long as the other party did not cross the line, the police could not do anything more than issue a verbal warning. "Oh." Qiao Nan's head hurt. "Where else can I stay then?" Could it be that she had lucked out when she had first arrived in Qingshui town? She had never experienced any of those things that Xiao Su had just mentioned. Although she had not experienced such things, Qiao Nan did not doubt Xiao Su. Soldiers would not lie, after all. Besides, the boss of the motel had told her about such a situation too. If it were to happen, she would just have to ignore the other party and lock the door. She did not dare to stay in a motel, and neither would she be able to stay in this rented apartment. Thinking through all her options, it seemed to Qiao Nan that she would have to return to Pingcheng to find somewhere safe to stay. Xiao Su glanced back and forth. He was just shy of telling Xiao Nan to simply stay at the chief's house. The chief's house was huge and had its own yard. Even if the house itself was not the biggest, it had many rooms, and its security went without saying. Besides, he would be there. Sister Qiao would be able to take her pick of the rooms and stay as long as she liked. It would be best if she decided to stay forever and not leave. Moreover, it would be the new year soon. If Sister Qiao remained at their house, she would probably spend the new year alone. If she were to go to the chief's house, Sister Qiao would be able to spend the new year with other people. Only then would she be able to feel the true atmosphere of the new year. Unfortunately, it was not Xiao Su's place to say such things explicitly, so he could only give some subtle hints through his gaze. But Xiao Nan had not caught that, so Xiao Su was in a frenzy. To Zai Sheng, Xiao Su had performed rather well today. Seeing Xiao Su's flushed face, Zai Sheng was finally willing to speak up. After all, he was the one who had fallen for Xiao Nan, and he had been the one to come up with the idea for Xiao Nan to move to the Zai family's old villa. So how could he possibly push the responsibility completely to Xiao Su, who was now scared stiff? If you don't mind, you can stay at my place for the time being. Zai Sheng had finally been able to spit it out. Xiao Su could not help but let out a sigh of relief on Zai Sheng's behalf. The chief definitely had no experience in chasing girls. Otherwise, why was he so gentle and indecisive in his actions? Sister Qiao looked gentle but was, in fact, an extremely opinionated person. If the chief continued acting in this manner, when would he be able to marry Sister Qiao and give birth to a young chief? No, that's not very convenient. Xiao Nan dared to say such impolite and embarrassing things when facing Zai Sheng. Because her dream had influenced her quite significantly, Xiao Nan was not afraid even in the face of such an important figure like Zai Sheng. I'll go back to Pingcheng. As long as I stay out of the city center, I'll be fine. Xiao Nan had never thought that Zai Sheng would not have any understanding of the news in Pingcheng while he was staying in Qingshui town. Besides, everyone around Pingcheng had already heard about the Qiao family's matter. The only people she had to avoid were the Qiao family. Not convenient. Zai Sheng was surprised that Xiao Nan had rejected his invitation so readily, as if she was not afraid that he would get upset. But Xiao Nan's firm stance would undoubtedly be a boon to him chasing after her. What's so inconvenient? There was no one else around. Xiao Nan could not help but cry out from the bottom of her heart. To her, being in close proximity with Zai Sheng was the greatest inconvenience. Xiao Nan hesitated and remained silent. Zai Sheng continued. You were previously worried that it would be inappropriate for a man and a woman to be alone together. Now that there are many people in my house, what's there for others to misunderstand? After all those guesses were not misunderstandings but reality. Thinking about how there would still be Xiao Su and Xiao Zhao in the Zai family's old villa, Xiao Nan seemed less hesitant to agree. Would I be too much of a burden? It was also because of her self-confidence and her dream that she felt uncomfortable in Zai Sheng's presence. But even if she had any thoughts or ideas about Zai Sheng, would she really be able to get together with someone like Zai Sheng just by thinking about it? Since that was the case, there was no need to worry about it at all. Besides, she would probably not do anything foolish with Xiao Su and Xiao Zhao around. But Xiao Nan did not know that she would not even have to act on her ideas or thoughts. All she had to do was think and dream about them. Both Zai Sheng and Xiao Su saw that Xiao Nan was now wavering on her stance. Xiao Su felt that he had to put in a little effort at such a time. Sister Qiao, don't consider it anymore. There's no need for you to feel burdened or pressured. You're from Pingcheng and the chief is quite used to the dishes you cook. If you feel bad that you're troubling the chief, you can make it up by preparing a few of your specialty dishes during the new year for everyone to share. That would be a lot more practical than your apologies. Sister Qiao, it's late. You'll be staying over for quite some time. Do you want to go get some clothes? As for this house, I'll inform my mom about this later. I promise you that none of your belongings will go missing while you're away. But of course, you should bring your valuable items along with you. With Xiao Su urging her, Xiao Nan muddle-headedly went back into the house, packing her money, household registration book, and clothes into a bag. Seeing that Xiao Nan had only packed a few pieces of clothes for the winter and the start of spring, Xiao Su had to resist the urge to grab Xiao Nan's luggage over from her to stuff all of Xiao Nan's clothes in. Thankfully, Zai Sheng's gaze caused Xiao Su to restrain himself. If he allowed Xiao Su to do that, all his effort would be in vain. No matter how foolish Xiao Nan was, she would be able to sense that something was amiss. Not to mention that he had quite a few people at home now. In fact, those people were much more important than he was. Sister Xiao, what else do you use more often? But it's fine if you forget about them now. When you remember about them, I can always drive down to pick them up for you. It's very convenient. Otherwise, I can ask my mom to retrieve it for you when she visits me. That was right. He would ask his mother to retrieve it for her. If he said that he would retrieve it, Sister Xiao might be too embarrassed and might want to return to pick it up herself. Then, she might refuse to return to the Zai family's old villa. Chapter 1830, Incomparable. Okay, Xiao Nan was confused by Xiao Su's barrage. By the time Xiao Nan had returned from her trance, she was already in the back seat of the car on the way back to the Zai family's old villa. Xiao Nan felt especially uneasy with Zai Sheng sitting right beside her. It was in the middle of winter, and the heater had been turned on in the car. Moreover, the seats of the car were made of leather. Xiao Nan wondered if it was her own illusion that she felt as though she could feel the heat from Zai Sheng's thighs because of the leather seats. Xiao Nan was in a trance for a while when she suddenly remembered that she had once gone to the Zai family's warehouse to study when she had still been in school in her dream. At that time, Zai Sheng had been seated beside her. The warmth and embarrassment that she had felt were exactly how she felt at this very moment. But in her dream, she had still been young. Zai Sheng would probably not have taken advantage of her at that time. The problem was, she had already been kidnapped by Zai Sheng to be his girlfriend when she was still in high school. What about now? Xiao Nan stole a glance at Zai Sheng. She had not expected Zai Sheng to look right back at her the moment her gaze landed on him. This scared Xiao Nan so much that she did not even have time to process what had happened before she turned away. Xiao Su, who was driving, was speechless. They were already in their 40s. Why were they more innocent than young children in their first relationships? Why did they have to feel embarrassed and shy about looking at each other? Why was Zai Sheng taking it so slowly? When would the young chief come at this rate? Zai Sheng stared coldly at Xiao Su, who immediately sat straight up in his seat and dared not think about when the young chief would come. The chief was staring at him now, but he would wait and see how Sister Xiao would deal with the chief once they arrived at the Zai family's old villa. He had to remember that there were 2 more people in the Zai family's old villa today. And they were 2 important figures. If Sister Xiao was old acquaintances with the chief, then she would definitely know the old chief and his wife too. At that time, Sister Xiao would surely be shocked and she would definitely let the chief have it then. Knowing that Xiao Nan would throw a tantrum, Xiao Su was not at all worried about Zai Sheng and was even ready to witness a good show. Sister Xiao, we're here. You can leave your luggage in the car and go inside with the chief first. I'll bring your luggage in later. Although he wanted to watch the show, he was afraid of getting implicated. It was better for him to be more careful and avoid gunfire. He would be satisfied with whatever remaining gunfire or the traces that it left. The moment Xiao Nan got off the car and walked to the car trunk, Xiao Su left Xiao Nan with these words without opening the car trunk. Instead, he immediately drove the car into the garage behind the Zai family's villa. Xiao Nan frowned. Bro Zai, what's with Xiao Su today? I feel that he's been acting weirdly. If Xiao Su had not undergone training, he would never have driven off with someone standing right next to the car. He might very well have driven over that person's toes. I'm not sure either. Zai Sheng denied knowing anything. Perhaps it's because he's still young that he's jumpier. There are always those few days in a month that he's as cheeky as a monkey. Those few days in a month. Were those words not used only when women were on their periods? Could it be that Xiao Su had become a woman? Go on in. It was not good to stand at the door. Xiao Su was indeed too young. Xiao Nan had sensed something wrong in such a short period of time. Thinking about how Zai Yayawai and Miao Jing were around, Zai Sheng could not help but wonder if Xiao Nan would be so afraid upon seeing them that she would run away. But did Xiao Nan recognize his parents? Miao Jing, who had been waiting by the door, anxiously gripped Zai Yayawai's arm the moment she heard a noise coming from the other side of the door. Knowing that Zai Sheng had not managed to deal with that lady, Miao Jing thought that she might not have the chance to present her gift to that lady before the year ended. But she had not expected that the opportunity would come so quickly. Do I look all right? Do I look presentable? Would she create trouble for her son and scare her son's prospect away? Knowing that Jiao Nan did not come from a well-off background, Miao Jing did not dare to wear too flamboyant clothes. After rummaging through her clothes for a long time, Miao Jing had finally found a piece of clothes that looked relatively older. Initially, Miao Jing had wanted to give Jiao Nan a good first impression to help her son out a little. That was why she had brought good-looking clothes that were of good quality as well. Because of that, Miao Jing had nearly gone out to buy a new set of clothes that would not be too antagonizing. In the end, Zai Yayawai managed to persuade Miao Jing to give up that idea and to wear something that she had brought along. Don't worry. It looks fine. When he had met Miao Miao for the first time, there had been mud all over her face. She had not cared about her own appearance at all. Because of Zai Sheng, Miao Miao cared much more about an outsider's opinion than his own. Zai Yayawai could not help but compare Miao Jing's attitude today to her attitude when he had met her for the first time. In the end, he was defeated miserably and he felt bitter. Old chief, madam, have some tea. Sister Zhao carefully brought out some tea and freshly cut fruits. Her mind was filled with curiosity and tons of questions. She could not wrap her head around the situation. Before leaving, Xiao Su had clearly said that he was going to pick Sister Qiao up. But the old chief and the madam were talking about waiting for their future daughter-in-law. Could it be that? No, no way. It was only when Xiao Zhao saw that the person Zai Yayawai and Miao Jing had been talking about was indeed Jiao Nan did she drop her jaw in shock. So when she had met Jiao Nan for the first time, it had not actually been a misunderstanding. She should have been praised for her foresight. Jiao Nan, who was walking next to Zai Sheng, was a little stiff. Only when she reached the living room did she know that there would be even more awkwardness to come. Meeting Zai Sheng again in real life was almost too much for Jiao Nan to accept. Now that the parents-in-law who had treated her so well in her dream were alive and well in front of her eyes, Jiao Nan was so taken aback that she could hardly react. Why was her father-in-law? Why were the old chief and his wife here too? When she had been here previously, the elderly couple had not been in the Zai family's old villa. She remembered Xiao Su saying that Zai Sheng had returned to the Zai family's old villa alone to recuperate. None of the other Zai family members had followed him. Could it be that they had all returned to the Zai family's old villa to celebrate the new year with Zai Sheng? That could very well be the case. Would Sister Zai Hua bring her family along to celebrate the new year with them as well? My dad, my mom. Zai Sheng introduced his parents. Uncle, Auntie No, old chief, madam. How do you do?